Good morning, everyone. 8Bits here with happy Sunday. Yes. And Sophie, of course. Right? All right. Let's see. Having a few little issues here. Whatever. But good morning, all. Right, Sophie? It's starting to get really windy out. So this morning, when I was out walking the dog, it was definitely windy. Like there's sand and dust in the air. I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those days. But, yeah. So I did a thing last night. I bought a new game. I bought Crimson Desert, right? I am looking forward to... Hold on. I'm looking forward to it coming out in a couple of days. So I went ahead, bought it, and yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait. It looks like it's going to be really good. So I hope it lives up to... Stop. I hope it lives up to the hype. And I guess we'll see how it goes, right? It's a single-player game. No co-op that I know of. No, it's not like an MMO or anything like that, although it looks like it could be, but it's not. And it definitely looks like it could have co-op, but it does not either. So, also, I created the drawing board for today, so it's here. And I saw yesterday that somebody had drawn a sunflower on here, which is excellent. Or what's it? Yeah, a flower on here, sunflower, I think. And so that was good. But if you are interested and you like drawing, please go ahead and click. You can click that link at the top here. It's pinned, and you can draw. Just keep it, within term of service. That's it. All right. What did I get done yesterday? I got some stuff done. I was working on the projectiles. I was trying to get the animations to be a little bit smoother. So, yeah, that's kind of what I got done, which isn't really a whole lot, but And today, what are we going to work on? Probably more of the same. I am creating some new action names, and they're just going to be circles for now because I feel like there should be more. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes, right? All right. Well, I think we'll get rolling and get started this morning. It's going to be a lazy, slow Sunday morning, I think. I hope everybody has their coffee. And, you know, I got mine in my little coffee pot mug. All right. So, let's see if the Stream Deck works. I've been having trouble with it this morning. Windows updated last night because I was delaying it. Finally, it was like, we're doing this. I was like, crap. But I had to reset some audio stuff. Stream Deck isn't behaving very well. It's kind of lagging. So, I guess we'll see what it does, right? All right, a little lag, but it's fine. All right. Let's make a couple more of these, right? So what these are going to be are, I already started on a new shape, right? But I'm probably going to make 3 or I don't know. We'll make a couple more, but I just have to figure out like what I want it to be, and I'll probably do that as well. Oop. Okay. That sneeze came out of nowhere. But like I said, it is. I'm gonna sneeze again. Wow. All right. It is dusty this morning. Yes, it is, Sophie. I know. Yeah, we're right in like the windy season for us, and so with that, it means also like sandstorms and dust storms and all that fun stuff. So yeah, lots of it. All right. We're working on this. We're gonna make another one here. We're gonna delete these because I'm just copying it, like duplicating the sprite and then changing stuff. All right. Let's see. This will be number 3. And Brent, good morning. Good evening. And we have a Sophie treat here. All right, let me see if the Stream Deck here will behave. You were first to the treat today. Yes, you were also first in chat outside of me doing a bunch of stuff, right? It is a slow Sunday morning. All right. There's that. I don't know why, but Stream Deck is being odd. Like, it's just lagging a little bit, right? And I was talking... Oh, do you get sandstorms out where you are, or not quite where you are? Or is that more in, like... Does Australia get sandstorms? We do. Like, we get... Where I'm at, particularly, we get sandstorms. Sandstorms, dust storms, that kind of stuff. And, man, it messes with you. And this morning, it was windy out, and you could definitely, it was already starting to get a little sandy out there. Gotcha. Yeah, we get big sandstorms. Stuff like this. Right? Where you'll get like huge sandstorms, dust storms, whatever you want to call them, coming in. And that's always crazy. Yeah. And what the windy season brings, besides all the sand and dust, is tumbleweeds. So if you don't know, these are tumbleweeds. It's a bush, right? Little shrub. What happens is in the beginning of spring, winter, they break off at the base, and the wind just takes them and pushes them everywhere. So you'll see these things going across the road. They're bouncing, they're doing whatever, but they can pile up. Like, people get them in their yards. There's a big giant snowman they make out of them. But yeah, they're a mess. Then we get those. All right, we're deleting that one and doing this. All right, so we have 3 more that we're working on. So I made 3 more sprites. I just put circles on them for right now. And like I said, I started working on another design, but we'll see. I don't know how many more I'll do, but we'll see with it, right? So yesterday I was working on the throwing weapon a little bit, like the throwing axe, and trying to smooth that up a little. And I think it's going okay. So all right, we'll wait for OBS here to go up. My Windows updated last night, which causes problems. So, all right, good. I was gonna say this morning, like audio wasn't working. I had to fix that. All right. I'm still trying to get it right with it holding it. But what I did yesterday was I made it so that when the enemy is hit by the throwing weapon, I basically did a while statement, right? With statement, that kind of stuff. I made it so that while it is in contact with the axe, it stops. Its speed hits 0 and it just stops there, right? So that is now the trait of the throwing axe. And it's not quite hitting the enemy like I want, but we're getting close. I'm going to sneeze again. Maybe. Okay. Well, what do I want it to do? A lot more than I have it doing, apparently. All right, well, so one, it looks a little weird when you're holding it, right? But it's throwing and it is hitting the enemy, correct. I would like to try to make it so that the blade side is hitting the enemy more, so it looks like it's impaled into them. But, you know, and right now it tends to stick to the backside. Not always. I guess it just depends. The blade's kind of I don't know. It's doing everything but what I want. So we'll see. You like it? Okay. I'm probably just being like overly critical on it. Yeah, and I need to start coming up with like figuring out sounds, because I really don't have much in here outside of like a little beep noise blast for when the enemy actually dies, but and I'm trying to make it so that the enemy or each weapon has a unique set, right? Something it does, some sort of effect, something that can be different, and for you to justify why you want it. Yeah, I can add sound anytime. All right. Well, it went away too fast. All right, so we're getting there with it, right? What did you just do, GameMaker? Why? I hate when you come out of like a game or whatever you're testing, it sometimes resizes GameMaker and it ends up like half on the other screen. And I'm like, what is it doing? Okay, dog. Good morning. How you doing? We are just sitting here doing some miscellaneous stuff, cleaning up, working on weapons really today. It's kind of what we're doing. So, let me think here. I need to find, what was it? It's get enemy level. Okay, so it is in parent create. Let's go there first. No, that's not it. It's an enemy helper. This one. Well, all right, so that's okay. This is my debug stuff. I think I will leave it. I'm trying to go through some stuff that I did, and I'm just trying to make sure like I'm cleaning up a little bit. Okay, Don, you're okay from, you're exhausted from work. Working on combat in your game for a few more moments until your toddler wakes up. Excellent. Sorry you're exhausted from work. I know how that can be sometimes. All right, let's check out. I'm going to take out a, where was it? Weapon visual. And I think it was Player weapon. No, this we want weapon visual. Like I said, I'm just going through doing some miscellaneous stuff right now. Cleaning up some debug stuff. It's the time of year where everyone wants their yards cleaned up. Yes. Yep. It is. And I've done plenty of that stuff in the past. And yeah, your body does hurt after a while. Okay, starting at, we got that cleaned up. We're good there. So this is not my thing, right? I found a script for cleaning up memory at the end of when you're closing your game. I think it works pretty good, but I don't know. And so my question is, what does everybody else do when they're closing out their game to try to clean up memory and that kind of stuff, right? And I forget which, it was on a GameMaker forum. They were talking about this. They're like, oh, you know, you need to make sure you always have this. And I was like, oh, I don't have anything like that. And I started looking into it because I was having an issue where the game was really lagging when I was closing it. And some of it was because I had so many debug messages active that it was just continually every single frame creating like a million of these things, right? Check for DS grids / lists that haven't been cleaned, as well as particle emitters in systems. Well, good morning. Are you seeing the game just memory leaks if you don't manually clean stuff up? It can. Yes. I was having that issue where it was not cleaning up properly, and so some of that stuff, it just continued for it, and it would lag the whole GameMaker IDE, and when it was trying to exit out of it, partly because of all those debug messages as well. But I have a cleanup memory script now. So we're telling it like the laser particles, that kind of stuff. Our system particles we're cleaning up. I was thinking of with system particles. Okay, so we're good there. I'm not sure because it's not mine. I'm not sure how to add in. I was thinking another one here. And what was it? We were talking about DS grids. Yeah, see, exactly. Your game started lagging after about 15 minutes. Yeah. And I know mine was partly because of the show debug messages. And it was making like a million of these things because it was one every single frame. And it was just constant. And there was a couple different ones like that. It was just so many. So many.
Hello there. Another happy landing.
Have a happy landing. Good morning, homeless. It's nice to see you. All right. Hey, Sophie. All right, we have a Sophie treat. We're going to switch over to the Sophie cam. If the Stream Deck wants to work. There we are. You got your tongue sticking out. All right. Always keep the star of the show happy, right? So, homeless, we missed you last night. We played Diablo 4 for a little bit. We tested out the Paladin which you can do for a couple more days. Did I just teleport that hand? I did. It is a skill. It's a skill. It teleports. Alien dance. I need something for an alien dance. That'd be fun. Jeepin has changed her voice. She has like the voice changer stuff. She has one as a channel point that you can change her voice. Like it changes her into a little alien that's dancing, and changes her voice into like an alien. All right. So, well, we were talking about the DS grids and list, right? How's a good way to do it? Do we want that to be like this, the same thing as the others? So, like, I can't say instance exists of a DS grid, can I? In Homeless, yeah. When you were able to hop on, it said you guys went playing more, so you did. When you were able to hop on, it said you guys weren't playing anymore. Yeah, that was probably. It was probably about a little after 9. She was, because she's not feeling well, was definitely worn out. So we're like, oh, we're gonna go watch an episode of Star Trek Next Generation, because we're watching the whole thing again, right? So we went up, watched one of those, and then crashed. All right. System effect. I think we're pretty good. Those were the 3 things that I was looking for. But I already have the particle stuff in here. I think it works, right? All right, let's run it. Let's play it. What do we want to start with? What's a good weapon to start with? Maybe the sword? And then you work your way up. So if we do this, let's start with a sword. I think it's better than starting with a pistol, right? You can work your way up to the pistol, but and then player weapons. Kelvar, good morning. It depends on your game architecture. So spaghetti, when you write something that allocates something, memory resources, you should write the deallocation. That said, most game engines handle that kind of thing automatically. Not familiar with how GM handles things in this respect. GM does handle it. So, GameMaker handles memory cleanup. Let's see what it says. So GameMaker uses both an automatic garbage collection for specific types, right, like structs and arrays, and requires manual memory management for dynamic resources such as data structures, surfaces, and buffers, right? So that's what it says. Obviously, I let it do its own thing, but I do have a little bit of a cleanup in there. There is a couple of things that will bleed after destruction of instances, but it's very few. Particles is one that needs to be destroyed. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I know the particle. Well, here it is right here. Particle system and emitters. And these, so data structures, surfaces, buffers, particle systems, and emitters, time sources, and physics all require a manual cleanup. Yes. Yeah. So that whatever it is you're trying to work on, like hand design, to build that into it. So a lot of them all use the same script. They just call it at the end when it finishes whatever it's doing, and then it cleans itself up. The instance objects have cleanup event for that stuff. Yeah. And thank you for the follow. All right. Our weapons. I still have yet to get to tier 2 and 3, but I figured those are going to be kind of easy. It's really going to be the same weapons. They're just going to be a little bit more, like a little stronger each time. That's kind of it. I am getting into structs a little bit, right? This, I'm doing a function with a constructor, right? So I have my function and my constructors here. Sherix, your weapon initialization script looks almost the same. Nice. Yeah, it's just well, I have one for player weapon. I have one for enemy weapons. And like I have projectile data, melee data in here, the weapon itself, right? Which is here. That's these ones. And then I have like the projectile stuff for it. So I have ranged weapons, melee weapons. I kind of broke them out that way. You don't have to, but I did. Imagine it started with a door and now we're here. It kind of, yeah. It started with asteroids. And none of it was working. But yes, it did. It started using with that script you sent me for the door teleport. And now I'm at this point, right? Progress in design, in skill, in learning. That's why I do these small projects. Yep. All right. So I made it so that the throwing axe yesterday now sticks it, like it stops it sticks in the enemy, so it embeds itself and stops the enemy in their track. Then it returns back to your hand to be able to throw again, right? So that was yesterday. And we were setting it so that I'm starting with a sword this time, and we're going to start it and test it. And I think the sword is just going to be the starting weapon, right? Waiting for OBS here to see it. There it is. And I still want to work on this conversation a little bit more. It's really just one-sided. This guy's talking. You're not saying anything. And the melee weapon, right, has a knockback feature. Have I played the game Fury? Now that you're thinking about it, this game kind of reminds me of it. It's one of your favorites story-wise. Nice. No, I don't think I have. I do think the +2 that shows up when you walk over one of the essence stones to heal you, the soundtrack, no, the soundtrack's not part of the game. That is synthwave on my Pretzel Rock music player. Oh, Muri. Okay, I thought you were like, you thought the music was part of it. I was like, oh no, that's not part of the game. Let me look it up. So while we're here talking about it, right? This is what you're talking about. So it looks like it's on Steam. I can see why this is cool. Yeah, definitely is something I would like. I don't know why I've never played it. Well, I mean, there's so many games, right? All right. We'll save that here. It's not super expensive, but what's this one? It's got two of them. Fury and Fury Onimusha here. So is that a second one? It's a DLC for it. Okay. And what's that? The soundtrack, digital art book. All right, so you can get both Fury and Fury with the DLC for about, I don't know, $23, which isn't too bad. I did just buy Crimson Desert last night, and that one's a little expensive, but I'm really looking forward to playing it. All right, so don't forget, if you like drawing, you can join on the web whiteboard, and that is right. The link for it is at the top of the chat here. Yeah, I mean, I'll get it. That looks like it would be something I would really enjoy. All right, let's turn Synthwave back on. Now, we don't have enough essence, so it immediately tells me you are out of essence. You cannot afford any more weapons. So sad. The first 5 minutes of the story reminds me of my game. Excellent. It's always cool. So I have it. So all the melee weapons have a knockback feature on them, right? And I think we'll start with the sword because it's not going to have anything real special to it. It's just going to be your trusty sidearm, right? It's your trusty blade. This is what you want to go into battle with. And it'll be good, right? You can start slow. Well, I need to make it so it starts slow, but yeah, I think so, right? Because you're like, oh, it's a melee weapon. You're physically hitting the enemy as hard, like, with it, and it's going to knock them back. That's kind of one of the extra bonuses for having a melee weapon. But outside of that, the sword's not doing a whole lot, right? We have a shuriken, which is fast-throwing star, low damage but high speed. We have a taser, stuns enemies with electricity. We haven't done the electricity part yet, but it's getting there. And then we have a toilet plunger, surprisingly deadly. Don't ask where it's been. I couldn't come up with something. I was like, don't ask. because the weapons were designed by chat, right? You all picked toilet plunger, tasers, shuriken, swords, bongs, all kinds of stuff. So let's pick a long one. And we still have to work on the items. All right, so now we have a sword and the taser. And the taser kind of has like little yellow little prong things that are shooting. Although it doesn't look like it's shooting very accurate. Because of the E. coli, it passes out. The plunger is deadly. Yes. We have a frying pan too. Heavy and satisfying, knocks enemies back. And I was thinking about adding to the side, the big thing with the curved hook, making it so that it is like it hits more than one enemy at once and pushes every enemy back within a certain radius of the player. All right, so we don't have any more essence, but there's the bong, which is a club. So it's unconventional but effective. We have a crossbow, fires a heavy bolt, slow but hits hard. And then, the toilet puncher. Some of those onomatopoeia, homeless, whatever that word was, the action items, action names are overlapping a little bit when multiple weapons hit the enemy at the same time. So you're getting an overlap. Like right here, we got two of them, right? There's clang and pow on top of each other. I think we need to make it so that if one is active, on that particular enemy, another one doesn't occur, right? So it stops looking like it's layered. What all do you think? All right, there we go. We got 4 weapons: taser, frying pan, sword, and a throwing axe. Merge the strings. Define. What do you mean merge the strings? All right. So they're overlapping for sure, right? Because if I walk through here, you can see like pow and clang because each weapon is producing one of them, right? All right, let's take a look at that. That was throwing axe projectile. No, that wasn't throwing axe. That was not our particle stuff. And Frosty, thanks for the Sophie treat. She will enjoy that. She is ready. All right, let's switch over to here. As long as Stream Deck decides to do it. This is Sophie. Go ahead now. Okay. We have our action names. So when Brent, when you create an effect, you can pass through the enemy as like an enemy on top of. True. And then when you create a new one, you can say with effect. Okay. It's usually when you have damage numbers, it's the existing number would attempt to merge with a nearby one. So there's only one pop-up, but the information is still there. But for words, it doesn't make much sense. Gotcha. And I was moving these around. Oh shit, what was it called? All right. So this is what we came up with yesterday. It was Brent and I forget who else was helping with it, but we came up with this to make it so that it doesn't reproduce the same name in a row. But now we need to make it so that when two different weapons or more hit the same enemy at the same time, it will only produce one of the effects. Yeah, I think that's the general idea of what we want to try to do, right? Is basically if an existing effect, right, is there, then destroy any new ones. So is it better to do that here or on parent enemy? Let's think about that. Well, let's go here. Let's sort of Roz, hi. 8-Bit, could you suggest a weapon? If yes, how about a buckler? Flavor text, buckle up. Ability blocks one attack from the direction the shield is facing every number of seconds, and left click does a short shield bash chain charge in the direction of the shield. Thoughts? Oh. No one is... All right, so we spent 3 whole days, like 3 days at the beginning of the 3-month project, right? So back in the beginning of January, trying to come up with stuff, and nobody suggested a shield. Surprisingly. But that would not be hard to... I could implement a shield pretty easy, I think. All right, hold on. Let me get my notes open. We're going to put that into here. All right, we're done with the if dead stuff, so we're going to clean that out. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I'm going to copy your whole message. And this is it now, right? So that's your message. We're going to we'll have a shield. That we'll have a left click. It'll do something. What was the left click? Shield bash in the direction of the shield. Oops. There. All right, so we have left click. Does a short shield bash against there. We can say left click, or for those that really play on controller, what button do you think would be a good one for a shield bash? I mean, it's going to be kind of automatic though. Actually, R2. We can make it R2. And maybe that's something you can adjust, right? So right now, you have all the weapons are automatic. You don't even have to do anything. So maybe we can make it so that it automatically every now and then does something, or we can build it in so you have an extra button that you'll have to do an action with. Kelvar, you say R2D2. That sounds like an excellent button. Yes. Yep. All right. I have it noted down. I think that's an excellent idea. I don't know why chat never thought of that, but you know. And we'll say Butler.
Hello there.
Flavor text.
Hello there. Democracy. Hello there. Another happy landing.
Hello there. Hi again, Holmes. All right. So back to this. Lucero, I hope you're. Yes. I'm stumbling on words this morning. I am doing well, thank you. And good morning. I hope you are doing well too. Roz, the badge you think should be manual? I think so. I think it could have like an automatic block. Right. So we'll make it automatically do like a block. Then you hit the button to make it do the bash. I think that would be cool. Right? It starts to make it a little more interactive. Yep. I mean, that's exactly it. And I'm going to copy that whole little conversation that you just typed out there, and we'll put that with the notes too. That's a good idea. Nope, didn't copy. There we go. All right. And I think we should be able to fit that in. We have what? 3, 2.5, 1, 2, just about 2.5 weeks left in the project. And then after we're done with this 3-month challenge, we are moving to a 6-month, but we're going to revisit the RPG game. So we're going to revisit the RPG game here. There's the regular itch page, and you come in and yeah, we're going to revisit this thing, right? And I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to spend 6 months on it and really kind of take that to the next level. And this, Brent, important thing here, the RPG game is going to have your skill tree builder put into it. Yes. That's where this is going to go. It didn't make some... I had it here, but it didn't really make sense with it, right? I was just like, it just felt out of place. And nobody ever clicked the skill button in the testing. So I was like, all right. We'll take it out. What do I want to accomplish before this game ends? Well... I still need to work on a couple things here. I want to get the stats to show here. I want a list of current weapons you are holding here. Do I have a mock-up of the skill tree? Well, let me think here. I took it out. But I can show you what the skill tree builder is. So the whole thing, which is this, right? This is Brent's easy skill tree engine here. And so you get some stuff, right? This is his sample, right? And then what it was is you had some like a button or something that shows up. So I had that, right? And this is the skill tree builder. And you can, it had a whole bunch of different things to it. You can build it to customize into your game. And now Brent has made it so that you can zoom in and out on there. So you can have a really complicated and complex skill tree, and you can zoom in and out of different parts to it. I think it looks good. Right? But that is his easy skill tree. And if you're interested in it, this is the link to Brent's easy skill tree engine. It works with GameMaker. And it's got all kinds of features to it. And he's still working on it. So. And that's pretty much what it looked like on mine. This was the button right here. I turned it off, so it's not there, but it was okay. Just nobody even clicked it, and I was just like, well, it kind of felt like out of place in this style game. So I decided not to use it, but we're going to use it in the RPG. Right, so right now on the RPG, there is not a why is it being weird? Come on, itch. Did itch go down again? It may have. Sadness. All right, we'll give it a minute here and see if it loads. There it goes. But yeah, we'll spend 3 months. Well, we spent 3 months on this, and this is kind of where it is right now for 3 months. Right. I want to rework the main character to kind of make it so he fits in a little more. These are different all NPCs that are people that were in chat and people from the local game dev guild, right? And you have people in here, you have outside, there's, like Homeless is there, and Sophie, of course, right? So you can pet the dog. No, I don't think you were wanting to be or asked to be in the game when I was working on it. Right? Let's see. We have Captain Onessa. We have Zora. We got Seraphia, Lazy Weekend, Azarin, Starfish Nebula, Arlok, Panuch, Brewer the Greater is the Barkeep, Homeless, Silver Eclipse. Yeah. All right. Anyways, and Kelvar, I saw you up there. Ads are about to go off. When they do, I am going to take a short, be right back. I need to get some more coffee, and it'll be a good time for everybody to get up and stretch and do what you need to, and then we'll come back and work on this. So, good times. Homeless, you're just homeless. You're not really the old wise man. Brent is the information broker, though. That was the title he chose. Right? So, what it means is when we revisit this for 6 months, we're going to add a whole new group of NPCs to the game, so everybody will have a chance to be in there. So, okay, dog, if you would like, you'll be in the added into the game. I feel like I did Homeless dirty. Yeah, probably. You're just kind of wandering around, that's all. What was that? Ads. Yes. All right. I'm going to grab some coffee, and I will see everybody in a few moments. So hang tight. Okay, I'm back. Wrong button here. I don't know what happened there. I was trying to do some stuff, and I was like, oh, stuff was popping up all over the place. But I got more coffee, so I'm happy. Franz, you'd like to be added to the game somewhere, very hidden, and either be a teacher of special abilities or magics or sell endgame items. I think that'd be cool. Sure. So, the idea is if you want to play it, figure it out, this is the RPG game, right? And it was a 3-month project. It's the one that I did right before this current one. But after we finish this, which is going to be done at the end of this month, we're going to go back to the RPG game. And we're going to spend 6 months. We already have 3 biomes, 3 enemies, 3 quest lines. But we're going to revisit, clean it up, fix a couple of a bunch of the bugs. We're going to add more biomes, make them bigger, multiple areas. We're going to add more NPCs, make it so the more of them are talkable, right? So you can talk to them. And right now you can only talk to, I think, 2. Definitely the barkeep, because that's where you get your quests in the store. So, but for a 3-month RPG, I think it turned out pretty good. And Brent, yes, you are the information broker. You feel you should be able to give hints of where to find Froz. I think that'd be great. Right. And not everybody's going to be in town. Maybe you'll come across people in different biomes. That'd be kind of cool. This is the RPG is an asset pack, right? That I bought. So you full rights to use it. But it has, I think, 10 or 11 different biomes in it. Deodits. Hi. Good morning. Hello. Hi, Jeepin. So, Deodits, right? I knew what you meant. Jeepin and I are learning how to speak Irish, right? So we're using Duolingo, right? And we are learning how to speak Irish. Gaelga. So we're learning Gaelga. And I think it's fun. Right? And I was thinking about adding that onto maybe a channel point where we do learn a new like word or one like particular lesson or something like that for a channel point. And I think it'd be fun. Yep. Theodit. Hello. All right. We got distracted. We did. We were doing something. But we're besides talking. Oh, we were trying to make it so that the status effect, like this thing, wasn't showing up if you hit, if two weapons hit at the same time, right? I think what we need to do is we have this. Let me first go here. Inside player create. Ross, on another note, trying to run the RPG, you get an embedded page HTML classic itch zone error caught. What? You caught the itch. I think itch is having problems. So when I click on it, oh no, it went there now. And I run it. It was lagging for a minute and wouldn't load the page. I'm using GX browser on it. What browser were you using? And I can place it in there and test it real quick. Let me try Chrome. Okay, so it's working on Chrome. I think it was just itch was having problems. There was a moment where I said, oh, it wasn't loading right, and that might be it. But it should work fine. Should. Should is always the key word, right? All right, let's come through here. Inside step. I have an instance create somewhere. Instance create layer. You clicked run and got that message. You're running an older version of Chrome, pre-manifest 3 versions. Oh, that might be why. Because Let me. All right, this is Chrome here, right? So it's different than my normal browser. Because when I'm on stream, I use GX browser, but this is Chrome. And it seems it wants to work for me. And it's probably because you're on an older version. But I mean, it should work, but. All right. We are looking for instance create my system effect. Instance create hit effects right here. I think this is going to be it. I think we're going to change this. Right? So I'm going to copy that. We're going to put that in my notes because this is what we're going to alter. Right? And I think we need to add in a with system hit effect. If the instance exists, maybe put like an ID with it. Point distance. Oh, no, that seems complicated. I don't necessarily think we need to do that. In parent enemy, we could do maybe add a tag, call it has hit effect, and just call it starts as false. I think that'd be cleaner. Right? So parent enemy create. We'll give it a tag and say has hit effect equals false. And then back here, Roz, on an older version of Firefox, you get error. So, update. I have no idea. I don't know. So, Firefox, I don't even know what version of Firefox I'm on, but let me run it. I don't use Firefox. But we're going to find out if it works, right? It is bright. Why is it so bright? All right. I have no idea. Firefox. What version of Firefox am I on? Help. About. I am on 147. Firefox browser version 147.0 64-bit. So that is what I am on. And you really can't see it. I'm starting it. And it started. All right. What version of Firefox are you on? Like I said, I'm on 147. You're on Firefox 133. That's pretty old. So I wonder if there's something I can do when we revisit that game to make it so that it will work with older versions. Because maybe that's the issue, right? Maybe it's so, like, the version is so old that it just doesn't want to work on it. Do you have any browsers that you've allowed the newest updates to be on. And what did I just do? In parent enemy, I added a flag. That's what I did. Has a hit effect. Player step event. Where do I want this? I think we can put this. This is attacking. We want it before this stuff. So maybe here. What I'm thinking is we're doing like it'll be an if statement. If nearest. So if we say if nearest dot has hit effect, which is that tag, then we can say it becomes nearest underscore or nearest dot maybe has hit effect equals true. Then we create the instance layer. So maybe it does need to be down below, not up there. So maybe it needs to be where we have this being created. Right? I also I already have nearest right here. So I think we're good. Praz, that would be appreciated. You're also running Bonai Linux. That could be an issue in itself too. Oh, you know what? I never checked if the game works, if any of this stuff works on Linux. And that might be an issue all by itself because it's although on the browser, hold on. Let me check inside the profile for a minute. So if I go to my game, where is it? How about we look here? Whoops. Edit game. So it's set for Windows. I wonder, the browser should be able to be played on both. I wonder if I just have to tell it to allow it. Looks like I may have to delete it and then re-upload it. So I'll have to do that later. Kind of project. It's in HTML. Yeah, it should run on browser. Yeah. I wonder if I'll have to look it up and see if there's something different I have to do for Linux, because I think that's probably the issue. Right? Maybe I'm just not. I told it to be Windows, and maybe I have to go back and select it because I kind of forget about that stuff sometimes. All right. So that's what I'll work on. also, let's refresh my browser. You'll be back in a bit. Going to install Opera GX to see if it's Linux. Shouldn't be, but it could. It could be. It might be. And like I said, I didn't think about it. So when I made the browser page, or when I made it work in the browser, I think I said Windows. I don't think I selected the other ones. So maybe that might be an issue, and I have to delete it and reinstall it. And okay, Dog, your tower game apparently works great on Linux. Excellent. Hey, okay, Dog, do you have anything yet for that? Like, do you have any itch page or link to it? And if so, please feel free to post that, because your stuff is cool. All right. Here is where we're going to change this. It's on Steam. Even better. My stuff's just on itch. Eventually, I think I'll get to the point where I feel like one of the games is solid enough, and we'll move it on to Steam. But right now, I don't think they're solid enough to be a Steam game. Because Steam is deadly with people testing your game, making all the comments, giving you negative reviews if there's like one little bug in it. They are 100% brutal on small solo indie devs, but give AAA companies all the leniency, right? So I want to make sure I have a solid game before it goes on Steam. Defend the Castle, that sounds familiar. I think I've seen this. Oh, I've seen this. Yeah. So you know what's funny? Okay, now this, right, kind of looks like a game that I was working on. Not this stuff. This stuff, right? I made a very simple version kind of this, where you have a cannon and you launch it at a tower, right? Definitely not like this. So way destroy the base. This is it. This was for a game jam that was 48 hours. And in this game jam, I made this, right? But it was physics. This was a long time ago. This was a while ago. But you had a cannon that you could control the cannonball, and you had to destroy the enemy, the troops, and the base, right? And you could bounce the cannonball off either the enemies or hit the base, and it would bounce a couple times. It was my first attempt at physics. When was this? Oh, this was for the Twitch team that I'm on. So I think it was like a week long. You know, and this was my first attempt at physics directly, right? So the cannonball had weight, things got damaged. Yeah, it is a terrible game, but it was one of my first game jams in learning, and I was like, oh yeah, it was a terrible design game jam, but I did it, right? And it got completely torn apart during the game jam, but I learned from it. So yeah, these early Bubble Pop is actually pretty good. Droid Shooter, not really, but like Bubble Pop was pretty good, and then we started getting a little better, right? And of course, you know, Pixel Warrior took me like a year to make. So we're getting there. But it's neat to go back. And this is partly why I do this, right? I will call things. I'm like, okay, I'm done with it. I put it up here. It is kind of me, like my record keeping catalog of stuff that I've done. And I can look back at it and be like, this is terrible. But it was so good at the time that I was doing it. And you can just sort of see like my progression of things getting better, you know, so it's getting there, right? It happens. We're going to do nearest, but we're going to say has hit effect. No, I wanted you inside this. Oops. There. That's it, right? But your game is cool. So this has all kinds of cool stuff to it. And one of these days, I will have a smooth game that I feel is Steam worthy. We'll get there. And who knows? Maybe after we spend 6 months on the RPG, maybe it'll be worthy, but we'll see. Nice. Sarcasm. Uh-oh. Opera and Opera GX, when trying to get their DB files, throws the page you are looking for could not be found. In your face. Oh. And you can't find the console commands to download it from there. So, ooh, we have a dungeon duel. It should be on here somewhere, right? It's under my... There, I hit it. All right. I will join you in the duel. Oh, a little late. So we have dungeons and we have dungeon duels. So right now we're in a... This is a dungeon duel. And then, if you want, I can run a dungeon. In the dungeon, everybody can join. I'd like to make one of these someday, too, right? The closest I got for Twitch integration was the avatars you see running around the bottom of the screen, which do have some commands. But I would love to make like a little interactive dungeon game for chat. So we'll get there. Oh, you're dead, yeah. It's because you're like low level and I'm a high level. My bad. All right. Let me run a dungeon for everybody. There. Now, you all can do ! Join, and you'll join it. If you don't have armor and you're very new at this, it's not a problem. On the side of my screen up here is Tangia Interactions. It's a little orange tangerine thing. Once you're done with this round of dungeon, you can click it. You can customize your character. If you gained any items out of this, you'll be able to put those on and equip, and you progress from there. And it's got all kinds of cool stuff, right? I think this would be fun to make too at some point. Because honestly, there's not... streamers are missing having interactive games for chat. There used to be a game called Stream Raiders. I loved it. And we could do battles and all kinds of cool stuff. And they finally closed down, and now streamers are trying to find something. But, right? Oh. Make it true. I feel like that's not quite right. If did you find anything in the dungeon? I don't know. I missed it. Oh, and I hear a wild Jeepin has come down. Jeepin is in her natural habitat right now. We can't, we're being quiet not to disturb the Jeepin. Morning. Okay, okay, dog, you didn't find any items. I can run here. You want to do another one? There. So now we have another dungeon running. Yeah, and the first couple times you do it, you're probably not going to get much. You may even die, fall on an enemy. So the question is, can you read it? Or does it need to be bigger? It's small? Okay. Let me find it. Oh, I have to do that on Pangea. Hold on. And we go into dungeon. Join time is 25 seconds. We'll increase that to like 30, give people a little more chance. Max number of players, let's do 8. Enable sound, boss fight, swords. Okay, let me save it real quick. You found a magic sword. Excellent. Reset dungeon. Hold on. It's got a layout somewhere on here. Configure on-stream placement. All right. Let's see if that looks any better. I'll run another one. Slightly bigger. All right. You got to run business call. Excellent. I appreciate you hanging out and being here. And yeah, go take care of the business. I think it needs to be a little lower, though. So if we do that. There. Okay. That should be better. All right, so we're doing nearest has effect. I think it should be like not, right? And I think that will work. But then we got to go into system here. Crashed by a Oh, crushed by a boulder. What is this? Indiana Jones? Yes. You got crushed by a boulder. That's no good. It's a good thing you respawn. It's a good thing, right? Yes. So, whoops. Let me start my stream again. It's fun, right? I would love to design one of these sometime. And we'll do another one. And the more you do, the more you build up your character. Items and stuff that you find, you'll be able to customize your character. And like I said, you could do that on the little Tangia interaction icon on the stream on the left-hand side. On the stream on the right-hand side of it, it's a little panel button. And then you can select the dungeon part of it and do some stuff with it. One of the cool things is Tangia has all kinds of interactions you can send to stream. You can find vouchers in the dungeons, so you don't have to like spend stuff for it. We're gonna put this. We're gonna do a source enemy, and we'll put that there. Arwen. Wait, if alpha is less than 0, instance destroy. No, we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna add if instance exist, but we're gonna say our source enemy. Yeah. Then tab that in. We'll tab this in again and go source enemy dot has hit effect equals false. Instance destroy. All right. You died again? Yeah. Probably a boulder. It could have been. It could have been. I missed it. Arwen was trying to get you to stay downstairs. Yes. Yes. How are you feeling today, Jeepin? Do you think you're going to be streaming? Object player. Anyways, to run a dungeon, for those that want to do it, it's a channel point. And it's somewhere in my list. It's just called Spawn Tangia Dungeon. And I'll do one more for it, and then we'll be good. But you can run them anytime. If you run the dungeon, you're automatically in the dungeon. Right? So if you create the dungeon, your character is automatically in there, and then everybody else has to join. So you don't have to worry about joining the dungeon if you run it. And I know Homeless loves this. Like, we have a couple friends that also stream, and everybody uses this. Jeepin, you're going to take some medicine. We'll probably sleep some more. Okay. Oh, you are doing a little better. Probably will stream, but maybe around 1 p.m. Mountain Time. All right. Oh. right here, if nearest equals true, we need to change this up. So source enemy is being an effect, right? Our source enemy stuff. Player. I need to tie it together. So now I want source enemy. I think we're going to make this into a variable. Let's tab this in. Variable. And we'll call it an effect. Right? But underneath it, let's do fx dot source enemy equals our nearest. I think that should work. I think it feels like it'll work a little better. Homeless, you don't spam dungeons in this stream. I'm doing coding and stuff, and you don't want to interrupt you or chat helping you. I wouldn't worry about it. The stream is kind of crazy anyways. So feel free to run a dungeon. And yes, Jeep, and he has about 180 vouchers in his stream. 189. Sorry. Correction. Yes. All right, we're going to run the game, but to test this, let's make it so we have two things. So how about a sword and a frying pan? There. Okay. So we'll start with a sword and a frying pan, and we'll test this. And we'll see what kind of stuff I get. Let's put our notes up. I think it's working pretty good. Well, let's test it with just the frying pan to make sure that the frying pan is, in fact, working with it. So let's turn off the sword, and we'll test it with the frying pan. And we'll wait for OBS here to see it. All right, so frying pan is working. I need to find a good sound that is like a frying pan hit, like a big clang noise. But it's working pretty good. All right, so I think that fixed our issue of them overlapping. So now we're good, right? Let's come back in here. what is this? This is our pistol. Trusty sidearm, fast and reliable. That's pretty much all it does. Crossbow. Fires a heavy bolt, slow, but hits hard. So, what did I set this stuff as? It's object sprite damage. Object sprite damage. So number 3. Our bolt. 1, 2, 3. So 3 is our damage. We're gonna make this like 15. And the 4th one in should be my speed. Right? Let's lower it. Let's start with a crossbow and see what that looks like. Crossbow. So what is everybody up to today? I know Jeepin said she's feeling a little better. She's probably going to sleep for a little bit more. It is it's about 10 to 9 in the morning for us. And then about 1 o'clock today, looks like she's going to try streaming. I'm not sure what she's streaming yet. That still feels a little fast, doesn't it? By the way. Yeah. And it's firing from the back of the crossbow. Yeah. Homeless. It's supposed to be in the 40s today, so you and Homeless Jr. are going for a walk in a bit. Excellent. It is going to be it's going to be about a little under 70 today. Right? We have a couple more days of cooler weather. Slowly starts to get warmer, and then by Wednesday we jump right up into the middle of the 80s. By Friday, we're going to have like 90-degree weather for a couple of days, and then it drops again. And Lucero, you are doing some world building in your game. Excellent. So I don't think I've ever asked, what type of game are you building? And what are you choosing to work in? And Braz, you're sorting out the scripts, running the script safe extension. You're allowing to run here on Twitch. Gotcha. All right, let's go back to the player weapon, right? I feel like I changed maybe the wrong number. I probably did. We have melee data, projectile. All right, we have ranged, our distance. What is our 20? So 1, 2, 3, right? We should have the type, the range, the cooldown. Maybe that's it. Maybe I need to lower that cooldown or increase the cooldown. Let's make that like I don't know, 120? Is that right? Higher cooldown? So we're going to try it. So my plans for today is obviously I'm working on this for a little bit. I want to get in some game time. I'd like to do Diablo 4, maybe a little bit of World of Warcraft. some Cult of the Lamb if I can. That's kind of my stuff, right? Invasero zombie survival RPG in Godot, excellent, but it has more of a town NPC stuff. Oh, okay. Like if a safe zone runs low on food, the NPCs might get aggressive. Oh, that's kind of cool. And what? They're what? Yes, they are, because of their aggressively intrusive, disgusting ads. True. Ads are needed, though. They are. It does help the streamer. So that's about it, right? Which is why every hour we run 3 minutes of ads. We do make some money for running ads on our channel. You know, outside of that, yeah, they're useless, right? You can do a couple different things to get away from them. You can, I think, I'm not going to say you can or not use some sort of ad blocker, but if you do that, just know the streamer doesn't, if it doesn't register you, the streamer doesn't get compensated for it. But there is Nitro. Is it Nitro? No, Turbo. It's called Turbo. Twitch does have Turbo that you can buy, and you don't get ads that way. You can sub to the streamer. You can also use Amazon Prime for a sub, so it's no cost to you. But yeah. They are needed for sure. I know. I mean, like, they are, but they are a pain. So, like, you know, to be blunt with it, they're a pain in the ass, right? But they should not interrupt the live feed. True. Although I do use the ad break to take a Be Right Back. I do not like to do live content of what I'm working on during the ad break. So, because it's not right to you to miss out on something, right? I don't see it like that. I feel like, oh, you should be here and doing it. And if there's an ad thing going on, I try my best to take a break, get some more coffee, get up and stretch. And sometimes I do chess, like this break. I'll probably grab a refill on my coffee, come back here, and we'll do some chess puzzles until the ads are over. Then we'll get back to the content. That way, you don't miss anything. Let me see. I think I stopped in half of your sentence there. They are needed for sure, but they should not interrupt the live feed. Yes, the ads also should be like a little banner thing around it, so you can still continue. But you know, you might do as well only watching the VODs, but if that's the case, you might as well just use YouTube. True. You almost you're forever calling it Twitch. Yes. Well, Roz, now your homeless is forever going to be calling it. Yes. But speaking of ads, we're about probably 3 or 4 minutes away from the ads running. And like I said, I'm going to do a quick Be Right Back with it. I'm going to grab some coffee. There will be no game content, so you're not going to miss any of that. I'm going to do a chess puzzle after I come back from the coffee. Like I said, I do my best for you not to miss content. Excellent. Okay, I feel like that's a better crossbow. What kind of effect do we want the crossbow to do, right? So right now it also is firing at the back of it. I can fix that, but it's not doing anything. It's just damaging the enemy. I think. Yeah, it's slowly damaging them. But what do we and you got to be a distance from them, so you can't be up close in it. I don't think it. Oh, it does. Okay. What do we want it to do? I mean, a crossbow penetrates in real life. Crossbow hits hard, so we want it to do more damage. Do we want it to have a knockback effect? The crossbow could, like in real life, penetrate through and keep going. Oh, multiple targets. What if it hits up to 3 targets that like goes through the first one and can hit up to 3? All right, we fixed that. We don't need it. Right, so we're gonna do crossbow. Let's change it so it can hit up to 3 enemies. Yeah, so we'll change it so that it can hit up to 3. How's that work? And maybe I might need a better bolt for it. Crossbow. Let me open up this, go to a sprite, top down. So this is the bolt, and I think we need to adjust it. I do have like level 1 and level 2 crossbows, and if 3, if I get up to that, but we definitely have that. This might need to be a little bit longer, better viewable. All right, so now since we are talking about the twattage of Twitch, ads are going to run in about 40 seconds. And like I said, I'm going to take a short be right back. So we'll go grab some more coffee. Then we'll come here and we'll do a chess puzzle so you don't miss anything. Like I said, I don't like it when you're missing stuff. And this is a good one that we don't have to worry about it. 40 seconds, roughly. It's like 15 now. Ish. Right? So let me get the chess page open. All right. Like I said, now will be a good time if you need to go get up and stretch, do whatever, curse out Twitch, whatever you want to do. But as soon as the ads start here, I'll take that be right back, and I will see everybody shortly. And we'll do a chess puzzle. You're going to get a dungeon going in the meantime. Excellent. It should run on the be right back page, so you should be good. And of course, ads are delayed for whatever reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the browser ready. And we'll have that. So when we come back to it, we'll be able to do that. And if you want a dungeon run, Excellent. Have at it. All right, I'll be back shortly. Okay. Let's turn that on. Let's do this. And I don't know what ads everybody else is getting. But I just saw a Pokemon Pokepia, the farming one. All right. Win this game with checkmate. So we only have a couple moves, right? White is the bot, so we're on black. I think our best bet is we'll go here, right? So we'll force the king to move. Then, if we go, yes, we can go here to C2. It's guarded by our bishop from here, right? So this is guarding it. But we'll take this and go here, and that will checkmate because the king can't move and can't destroy the queen. All right. Ads are done. Welcome back, everybody. Let me turn off the chess thing. And we'll get back to what we were doing. So and I will join you as well. What I think need to do, and David, welcome in. You joined just in time. Nice to see you. How's your Sunday going? Hi, Soph. I joined twice. How did I join twice? I missed it. I missed it. Although I think Homeless and I are wearing same armor. Did I? Okay. I saw that I was in the top part, and then I looked away and was looking at some other stuff. But I know Homeless and I have the same outfits. Or pretty close to it. Homeless, you know another reason why you don't spam dungeons here. You'd rather give Sophie the T word and jam out to hello there. Dungeons get in the way of those. True. They do. Right, Sophie? Yes. We'll have to try it again. And see. Yeah, see, Homeless and I are on the left. We both have similar outfits. We have the same helmet. Right? Good girl. All right. So, yeah, when you get up there, you start getting you get similar stuff, right? But let me see if I have anything better to put on. I do. What is this? Headless Horseman's Head. Plus 11% chance to survive a fight, but you lose 6% loot. So I'm not going to change it off the blinking head. No, I'll look at my stuff later. All right. We want... I think this... Let's check out the speed of the firing. I think the speed is okay. Let's just go to the next round. So it is damaging them. But I feel like it's not doing a lot. So maybe... Also, the bolt is not targeting very well. Yeah, all right. I think that's about it, right? So let me look at mine. It looks like you can have your head, your sword, a shield, a chest piece, gloves, and shoes. Yeah, and as you progress and you go up in level, you're going to be able to get new items, and some are going to have positive stuff to it, and some are going to have negative. You're missing shoes, you'll get it. Now, as you go, you'll get more and more equipment. You can, once you equip something new, turn around and sell some of the old stuff, so you'll get XP for it, and you can keep leveling up that way. We have it set to this, right? But we need our bolt to do maybe a little more damage, right? So, damage and speed. Damage, speed. Let's make this... Let's make the bolt do 20. Here, we'll run it again and see if you can get some shoes. Your helmet removes 5% loot, but your gloves counter that, giving you a 0% chance, like default. Nice. And there's other Tangia stuff. So like we have a boss fight that we can run. Now the boss fight is tough. It is. Usually takes about six or more people, and it can be a little rough. I don't know how many times almost that we've tried doing the boss fight on different people's streams, and we do not make it. All right, so we changed that. Our speed, let's make it a little faster. Or maybe the numbers. Yeah. There. Out of 50 tries, you probably beat it 3 times. That sounds right. That sounds right. It is a tough thing. Let's see. What kind of range do we have? We have a 200 range. Type range. Let's make it like 250. And I don't know why this says 600. That should be like 2. All right. And before we do that, let me find the bolt. Weapons, range. Where is the bolt? Bolt. All right, so we're going to change this up a little bit, right? We'll make the boat a little bit longer. Let's do that. Let's make it more of a silver. No, maybe like how about more of like an orange? No, we should make that like solid black, like this, right? And then make inside like that. All right, so that's gonna be a little better on the bolt. I think we'll be able to see it better. And currently, that's where the X is, or the thing is. And then on the crossbow, we have it all the way back there. What happens if we move it to you like here? Let's run it. Your win-loss ratio kind of good so far, at least 6 out of 8 isn't bad. True. And your character is unique to the stream that you are on, right? So if you go to like, I don't know, Homeless's stream, and if he's running it, you have to start over on a new character there. If you go to like Jeepins, same thing. You have a different character on her stream. They're not interchangeable, so you can't take your character from like my stream to her stream, even though it's all through the Tangia system. They make it so it's independent. All right, I feel like the change on the bolt made it so you can see it better. Yeah, you're like level 50 on Jeepins. Yes. Yeah, we definitely run them more often on like her stream. Would be cooler if it was cross channel. It would, absolutely, but they don't have it set up that way. So I feel like it looks like it's firing a little better, but I also feel like it's not damaging the enemies as much, like it should be. So that may be something to make note of. And when they do this, they're supposed to be damaging the player, but they're not. So I gotta figure out. They sort of do, but not really. All right, let's make note of that. So the crossbow, we have to check our damage. Crossbow damage needs adjusted. We need to check enemies not damaging the player. And I think what it is I have the player gets hurt, I have a invulnerable moment, right? Let's see. Would have been cooler if it was cross channel. Yes. If you could code, you'd make your own that was cross channel. Who wants 8 bajillion alts? Homeless has 5 quadrillion alts. Yes. Sounds accurate. True. And maybe, I don't know how that would work, right? You would have to have a data storage system built that it could access. To do it, right? Right now, like, it runs independent, and it's kind of like running like my Twitch avatar app that I made, right? So the avatar is running around the bottom there. Which the Celebration, Sunflower Launch, and Random Avatar and the Sophie one are all channel points that work off of that app. And I think it would be fun to return and maybe make some sort of game like this someday. Like a little dungeon game. But maybe make it something a little more interactive somehow. All right. In the meantime, we were talking about over here. So we were talking about a shield, right? Whoops. In the meantime, let's make a... I'm deleting it, and I should be doing a color. Oh, no, we're right. How hard would it be to store things in a private GitHub repo and pull the info from there instead of from the streamer? I don't know. And it depends what Twitch allows, right? That's the main thing. When you have a whole bunch of regulations and things you got to worry about with Twitch, so I'm not sure with it, just because it has to pass through their system. But I don't think it'd be, without worrying about Twitch, right? I don't think it would be really that hard to do. But I could be wrong on that. There. That looks awkward, doesn't it? Let's make it start from there. So okay, that looks a little better. And then we said do it like this. Whoops. One off. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, I see what I messed up over here. All right, so this is going to be, we'll go here, up 1. Roughly, right? That's our rough idea. So we're going to dig it. We'll just copy it. Bring it over here. We'll make a new sprite. And we can put this under like a melee. Sprite. Weapon. Melee. Shield. Right? That way we have just some sort of temporary image before we actually make a arm, like a buckler style. A buckler is round. By the way, we can make it round. Let's and then we can make it like a targe. That'd be kind of cool. Like a Celtic targe buckler. All right. Because it then also has a little bit of a round middle piece. That's not going to work. We're going to want it to be like there. Let's not make it like exactly straight. Go there. There. That might work. All right. So now we have a shield. We are going to come up here to weapon melee. We need to make the object for it. This is OBJ. Weapon, melee, shield. There. And we'll do shield. Let's do that. It looks like an orange. We'll fix it. It'll be fine. And I'll join you on the dungeon. If you've never, I wish. Sometimes I wish I was doing a bigger graphic, but like resolution stuff. I think it's called a Targe shield. Yes. Yeah, those are cool. I guess we could put a design into it at some point. Like, make it look like it's leather coloring as best we can. And then put some sort of design onto it. Right. And a, what's a, like a buckler versus a targe. Buckler is even smaller. Targes and bucklers are both small handheld shields designed to actively parry rather than passive blocking, but they differ in size and origin. Bucklers are smaller metal center grip and ideal for quick dueling. Scottish targes are larger leather covered wooden shields designed to protect against heavier broadswords and pikes. So how big do we want this thing? Do we want it to look small? Where like a buckler is like 12 inches versus a targe is like 1920. So that's something we'll have to think about. Right? But for right now, the orange is the shield. So we're going to have to add in global dot weapon underscore, let's call it shield. We're going to stick with buckler, right? Could be a tier 1 buckler, T2 large, T2 shield, T3 4 tower. True. I don't think we're going to have that many, right? We're going to only have, if I can get it done, because we only have, what, 2.5 weeks left in this challenge, right? So we have two tier 2s and 3s. And I think that'll be... Let's start with a little buckler, shield buckler, right? And we're going to do new player weapon. Going to do melee. What are we doing? Type, range. They're all at 50. And then we got 20. SPR, weapon, melee, shield. Oops. Shield. Then new one and no one right now. Oops. No one. We don't have a description yet. And we'll say no one. All right. That should do it. Because then, yes, I think you're right. When we do a tier 2, we can make it the next size up. And it'll be like a shield charge, right? The next size. So yeah, we can start with a little buckler. Weapon. Shield buckler. Oh, before I do that, let's take this. Let's make it middle center for the origin point. All right, now let's try it. Do the escape. So that's roughly what it's going to look like. Clang, pow. Well, yeah, it needs to be a little. Let's go smaller. It's spinning, by the way. I don't know why it's spinning, but it is. But it's spinning at the moment. And we have it under melee category. So it's getting the action words right now. All right, let's take a look at it again. I don't know if it would be too overpowered, but a successful block could do knockback. So what we would need to do is make it so that the shield, shield does not do knockback right away. Well, I feel like I don't know. If we're going to make it so that you use a button to do the shield attack, let's think about it. So shield does not do knockback right away. We want it so that the shield does a knockback on left click, right? So we'll have that added. Let's make this a little smaller. And I think the other thing, let me see what's it doing. Let's make it manual precise. That didn't really precise it. There we go. Okay. Let's choose more of a darker color in here. And for now, I think that'd be fine. All right. On weapon. So we have a shield, right? And we're going to make it so this, right? Let's put that up here with this. Shield does not do knockback right away, but what does it do? Absorb damage. How about absorbs 10%? Absorbs 10% of damage per enemy. Right? Shield doesn't do damage unless you do a shield bash. Right. So if you do a shield bash, which is left click, shield bash does a knockback with a left click every, I don't know, what, 5 seconds. Then also deals damage. How about does 10% deals 10% of enemy health in damage? How's that? One block every couple seconds. Inactive is the shield charge. Yeah. It might be. It might be. All right. So I think that this stuff is what we're going to try, right? So it doesn't do a knockback right away. It's going to absorb 10% of it, right? So we have shield does not knock away. Shield does not do knockback as the other melee. So maybe I need a different category. Because right now, all the melees do it. But we'll say, does not do the knockback as the other melees do, absorbs 10% of damage per enemy. Away from player taking damage. Shield bash does a knockback on left click slash R. How about right trigger on the controller every 5 seconds, and then deals 10% of enemy health and damage. Right, so this stuff here is what I think we're going to try to work on. Let's get it to do that first, and then we can adjust it, right? Okay. So we have player enemy, player weapon. We're not going to do projectile type. Well, I think we need to flush it out a little better. So, 1. Shield reduces damage to player by 10%, right? And then we want the shield bash. It's not a targeted attack. I think you use it, and it's just going to be the nearest enemy, right? Because otherwise, we're changing the whole aspect and adding in a directional attack that's controlled, and I don't think I want to do that. So I think we want shield bash, nearest enemy, right? Nearest enemy. It's a defense, right? It may not be best to be under melee. Maybe making a new category so we have ranged, melee, defense. But it would be the only item in there. So I don't know yet. I guess we'll play it out like this and see if we feel like it should actually be something different. But shield bash is nearest enemy. Or do we want it to be an AoE? Right? So if you do a shield bash, does it push everything near, like all the enemies nearby? Oops. Hi, Arwen. What you doing? It could be a AoE or cone. All right, well, let's make it like shield bash, a cone zone, in front of the player. How's that? And the cone zone affects all enemies in, I don't know, 50 pixels. All enemies in 50 pixel radius or zone from player. How's that? Right? Then we got number 3. So it should appear, we don't want it as something different, I think, for right now. So it'll appear in a weapon slot, right? I think that's where we're going to be with it. Okay. Oh wait, we already have some of the flavor text. Buckler, flavor text, buckle up. Buckle up. All right. Buckle up. Ability blocks one attack from the direction the shield is facing every number of seconds. Oh, okay, I see. Well, let's do how about every 10 seconds it blocks one full attack. How's that? Every 10 seconds it blocks the next attack. Next full attack. All right. Yeah, and on the zone, where is it? Here. The whiteboard. Right? So we have our player, right? Then we get our weapons. So we have block 1, block 2. This is like the zones for the weapons, right? And we have, let's say this one is going to be our shield, right? But it could be on any of them. But the idea is it will block. Let's do a different color. No. Right? So, hello. This will be the zone, right? So any enemies that are in our zone will get pushed back. Right, Fraz? Something like that. And that will be the shield bash. Okay. Yeah, so if we do it that way, the shield will act like it's here, but it's just doing a shield bash and pushes any enemies within this zone. And we can make it even a little wider, right? And it'll push them away. Okay. I think that works pretty good. And we're going to copy this. Let's put it. There. All right. So that is kind of what we're going to be working with, right? I think, right? Shield bash reduces you were thinking more that the shield bash would be a quick movement like charge that warriors do in WoW. Okay, so what I think we could do at that point would be if you do a shield bash, and maybe the shield is like a tier 2 thing. You don't get it on tier 1s, right? Well, no, you would. You would have a small one, the buckler first. But what if we made it so the player, right, does a rush forward with it, right? So player does a rush. All right, let's adjust that. 5. When shield bash occurs, player does a charge forward by, I don't know, 50 pixels. We'll just say that, right? By 50 pixels. We'll adjust it. Forward by 50 pixels, and knocks back all enemies in the way. How's that? Right? So now let's copy that. Let's bring this in. Whoops. Let's change it. Let's put this up here. All right. So let's do that. So now that's what we're talking about, right?
Law and order has begun to break down following the major energy crisis. Motorcycle gangs scavenge the lands and terrorize the population. As such,
I see one kind of issue. We have shield reduces damage by 10%, right? So line 1. But every 10 seconds it blocks the next full attack. Does this replace like this when it happens? I think it should, right? So it replaces, 4 replaces number 1. So it replaces number 1 when it occurs. All right. Let's copy that. Let's bring that back down here. And bring that in here. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking at, right? Okay. Alright. So I think that'll be good, right? All right. Well, where are we at? We're almost about 10 o'clock. It is probably time for me to call it for the day. I only do like 3-hour streams, right? Maybe a little bit longer sometimes, but I have some stuff I need to get done around the house before I can come back here and either continue working on the game a little bit or spending some time in a game, because it's my weekend and I need to do that. But don't forget, today, probably about 1 o'clock Mountain Time, Jeep and Annie is going to be doing gaming. I think she's doing Guild Wars. I'm not 100% sure, but this is hers. You'll be able to see her. And again, we'll be able to check her out. And then tomorrow at 4 p.m. Mountain Time is Jeep and Andy's cooking stream. Now tomorrow I will be streaming because it's also my weekend because I get 3-day weekends. But it's only going to be about 2.5 hours. I have to cut it a little bit shorter than normal because I do have to hop on a meeting call for about 2 hours. So fun times, right? But I think that's it. I appreciate everyone for being here. Let's find out who's on today and go check it out, right? So, boo, work. I know, Kelvar, I know, right? Monday's not normally a day I do stuff, but I can, adjust my hours from the end of the week. So it's not terrible. It's just not great. But let me try to see who is on. Oh, I see somebody on. Let me see if they're at their chair. I don't see them. Oh, he's there. He's just not showing his self. All right. We're going to go visit Code Red Games, right? Now, like I said, I will be back tomorrow morning for at least 2 to 2.5 hours, and we'll go there. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some time today to sit and work on this stuff. For those that are using it, that whiteboard is there for 21 more hours. So if you have updates or any of that stuff you would like, you can put it in there, and I will see it. Otherwise, feel free to join the Discord. And make sure you choose the game development role. I have a whole little section built up for that, and you can leave suggestions or comments there as well. But or join the streaming stuff if you're interested in that, and the gaming stuff if you like gaming. But I think that's it. Anyways, I appreciate everyone for being here. I'm gonna sign off, and I will see everybody later. So let's go ahead and drop over and say hi to Code Red Games. All right, folks, have a great one, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.